All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Kristen May. This is Mindful Mondays on YouTube channel May Love Light. Welcome, welcome. Ooh, how are we feeling this morning? My voice was doing some funky things this morning, so forgive me if my voice goes in and out. Yeah. Mm. I am calling in I am zooming in. Oh, this is not Zoom. I'm currently being held by the lands known as Wawaitanong. This land is also known as Detroit, Michigan. And I want to take a moment to do a lineage acknowledgement and just pointing out that my understanding of mindfulness comes from the Western colonization of the ancient practice and culture of Buddhist teachings. My perception is only a drop of water in the vast richness of teachings that we now know as mindfulness. This drop of water that I was given um, has produced vast richness of teachings for me that that I have applied in my life and have yielded great benefits. I have deep appreciation and respect for these teachings, and these teachings originated and migrated in South and East Asia. And my hope is that I'm able to not only nourish myself, but to also nourish others in a respectful manner that that points to our ability to awaken our Buddha nature, that respects the teachings, the Dharma, and also cultivates community, also known as Sangha. Excuse me. I feel like I'm going to be clearing my throat a lot today. Mm. Oh. So next month, I'm thinking I'm going to do Mindful Mondays at a later time. And so I will keep you all posted on that. I'm most likely going to do 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time. And I will let you all know when we will begin that. It will be in November. So these last couple of Mondays will be this time slot, and then we will transition. All right. So today's topic, something that has been alive for me is pleasure and how my relationship to it, how I navigate um, my exploration of life through pleasure. And every year, for I feel like it's been like a good 5 years that I have a word that I will kind of like be the theme of the year for me. One year I had like vulnerability was my word. I think I had another one that was like surrender. This year, I actually did two words, play and pleasure. And because I really felt like within the space of play, those of you who may or may not know, I am a trained comedic improviser. And I began that journey back in 2009 when I lived in Charleston, South Carolina. So play has been a big part of my life. And during the pandemic, I wasn't able to kind of bring in that part of me, and I've been kind of reintroducing myself into that space of like looking at how I can be more playful, and um, and it's been a beautiful process. So that's the part of play. Pleasure, I just the way that for me, it's more so experiencing life through the senses in a way that I'm really able to be present with what's happening. So in the past, I often dissociate when enjoyable moments are happening, and so I would leave my body, so I would not be present, and I couldn't really reflect on, like, what was happening in my body because I'm not there, and so I've been very intentional about using mindfulness practices to bring myself back into my body, and so the way that I have been holding this exploration of pleasure is really through the senses. So allowing myself to really explore like sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch, and within a Buddhist context, also our mind, our thoughts would be the sixth sense. So these are they would call them sense doors. Excuse me. And just a reminder that mindfulness is being aware in the present moment without judgment, with openness and kind curiosity. And so for today's practice, I'm going to guide us through exploring the senses. And so what you would need is like a warm beverage of your choosing, your choosing. Excuse me. And so that is what you will need. And who I feel like I'll give some definitions of pleasure. As a noun, pleasure is a feeling of happy satisfaction and enjoyment. As an adjective, pleasure used or intended for entertainment rather than business, as in parentheses, pleasure boats. I have not heard that term. Excuse me, the phone is ringing. I'm going to pause. Okay, so yeah, there's going to be things in the environment. And then the last definition is a verb, pleasure. Give sexual enjoyment or satisfaction to. I know when I talk about pleasure, it seems like one of the first things people think about is some like a sexual way of it, and that really wasn't my stance. Mine is more of a just the enjoyment of life, like really taking these moments to be present with what's happening. So like right now, I have one of my hands underneath my thigh and like I can feel the pressure of my hand against my thigh and being present in that and like the weight, like I can feel the weight of my leg, and for me it feels very grounding, and that's something that is bringing me enjoyment in this moment. It's just like a way that I'm helping myself to land even more so in my body. And so for me, it's just it's I don't know, like, is it a reframing? It's just I feel like there's more to pleasure. Pleasure can be in an enjoyable experience that it doesn't have to be within a sexual context, is what I'm saying. Makes sense? Makes sense. Well, it makes sense to me. Let me know how you feel about it in the chat, or in the comments. I would love to hear your journey within it as well. So I've had moments where guilt would arise because it's just like there's so much going on in the world. And then for me to feel like, oh, for me to like really prioritize like the experience of pleasure. I don't know, something about it just felt like, ah. And all these things exist at once. Like there's going to be suffering, there's going to be joy, there's going to be everything in between. And for me, I noticed within my own mental health that this is something that I needed to cultivate. I needed to bring this forward for me. And so I am doing it. I am doing it for me. And if it's something that is calling to you, like we can enjoy this together. Mm. So with that, let's practice together. Um, Oh, I'll talk a little bit more about the experience of, like, using your senses to really lean into pleasure. So let's say you're out for a walk, okay? So your sight, you can see you see the trail, but it's not just you see the trail, but, like, really taking in what you're seeing. You can see the different greens or, like, the different colors that are present. Maybe you see a butterfly along the way, or a squirrel or some birds, just taking it in and, like, really, allowing yourself to see the things around you. And then you hear the birds, you can hear each as you take each step, you can hear your feet. Maybe there's leaves on the ground, and you hear the crunching of the leaves as you're walking. The smell, you take a deep breath in, maybe there's some evergreens in the space and you can smell that. I know when I'm out in California, I love the smell of the redwoods and the eucalyptus trees. It's one of my favorite, like, especially after rain. So you're bringing that in. And maybe you just had some tea or coffee, and, like, the taste of that is lingering in your mouth. And then for touch, maybe maybe you're wearing gloves, or you can touch your jacket if you're wearing a jacket, or whatever kind of fabric you have, or maybe it's just maybe it could even be the wind, if the wind is blowing and you can feel it caressing your face, like, that's touch as well. And then, like, what are the thoughts that are present for you as you're walking? So this is how we're able to bring these practices into this space of being present, allowing yourself to really explore what's happening in your environment, and in a pleasurable way, like what is pleasant as it's happening to you. Um, and not shunning away things that are not pleasant, um, or neutral. It's just this exercise for me is just it is more of, like, kind of invoking the things that are pleasant. All right. So with that said, we can ease into a practice. Mm. I have respiratory challenges, and so it is my breath is doing some things. All right. So for this practice today, if you have a warm beverage, please bring that forward. I have my warm beverage here. It's some tea, some lemongrass tea, and as you're holding your cup, noticing, you can look at it. What do you see? You can maybe feel the temperature, the cup, the warmth. You can smell it. You can taste it. Maybe you can even hear, like, when you take a sip, you can hear the sound, and you can hear when you swallow. And then, like, what thoughts are present for you as you're taking a sip of your beverage? And we're not placing any judgment on what's happening in this moment. Right now, we're just enjoying our drink of choice. Like, this mug has a very smooth texture to it. There's a little chip here. I remember, and then the thought comes up as soon as I talk about the chip. So there's a little chip here, and it's from one time my mom visited me when I was living in South Carolina, and she dropped this mug and chipped it. So yeah, that's the thought that arose as I am experiencing this beverage. Yeah. Mm. And so the taste, there's almond milk in here, and the almond milk kind of like coats the mouth as I take a sip. And I put a little bit of honey in this, some local Michigan honey. I guess that's double local Michigan, kind of implies that it's Michigan. But anyway, some local honey, and I can taste a little bit of sweetness from that. So yeah, what's arising for you? I'm kind of just narrating what's going on, just to model using the senses in this way for this practice. I can also see like the almond milk is like slowly, like it was mixed and now it's like trying to um, break apart. I can see that when I look down into the mug. Hmm. What's coming up for you? Hmm. Another thought that arose is that this mug was a gift. It was a coworker of mine gifted me this mug, and so like that thought arose as well. Not placing any judgment on it at all. It's just that's what came forward as I'm experiencing this. It's very fascinating how we can time travel just from drinking tea. Okay. Hmm. All right, so let's put down our beverage. Just take a moment to kind of settle in and just reflect on that experience a bit. What came up for you through the senses, through the thoughts that arose. How can you bring this into your day to day? Was there enjoyment that arose? Things that were pleasant? Anything that brought excitement? Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I really am pausing to see if I want to officially close this practice. Officially closing this practice. Mm, yeah, maybe you want to set an intention for the week to have these moments of intention, of being present, to really lean into the senses and see what it is for you. How is it for you? Um, I really enjoy bringing these practices into the day to day, more of an embodiment of it. And yeah, I hope that you find it to be supportive. It has been supportive for me as well. Mm, oof. All right. How are we feeling after that? Drinking our beverage. My beverage is not as warm as it was when I first began. It happens. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else I'd like to share on the topic of pleasure. Resources. Uh, I believe Pleasure Activism is one of the books I cite in my resource list. It is linked in the description. I have a listing of books that I feel like have been supportive for me through my practice throughout the years. So you can take a look there. It's Adrienne Marie Brown gathered a collection of essays, and it's called Pleasure Activism. Um, I read that I feel like a couple years ago. So it kind of like planted that seed in me to kind of explore a little bit more of like what it is or what it could be for me to explore yeah, pleasure for myself. And what else I can say on this topic? If there's any questions or anything you wish to share, um, feel free to in the comments. And I feel I feel like I'm complete on this. Yeah, this will be a nice 20-minute 20-minute mindful Monday, which is great. All right. So with that, let us dedicate the merit. And what we do, dedicate the merit is any goodness that we've cultivated together today, we're allowing it to radiate outwards and touch the hearts and minds of all beings everywhere, seen and unseen. And I love to use the dedication of merit and metta by the Dharma Homies Collective. They are a dear group, a community of people that I sit with and practice with. And specifically, Devin Sangster Rath is the curator of this dedication of merit. So if you'd like to place a hand on the heart, um, may any goodness that has come from us practicing together today be dedicated not only to us, but to all beings everywhere, seen and unseen. In particular, we dedicate this goodness to those who are suffering, especially those who are suffering under violence, racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, ableism, ageism, xenophobia, and all the intersecting oppressions. We commit to doing the work within ourselves and in the world of uprooting greed, hatred, and delusion, so that our true heart's wish may come true, that all beings everywhere be free from suffering and pain. May all beings abide in the ease of well-being. May all beings be safe from both internal and external harm. May all beings know connection, love, joy, and peace. And may all beings be truly liberated. All right. Take great care of yourselves and each other. And I will see you all next week. I'm feeling into maybe the topic will be anger. I'll see how I'm feeling about it. I'll feel into it some more. But take great care. Till next time.